What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. I am in the process of reading every Stephen King book, have been for many years now, and I recently completed Different Seasons, which was my 50th completed King read. Today, I'm going to rank every Stephen King book, all 50 that I have read, and I'm going to be quick about it. I'll say one sentence summarizing my thoughts about each one. We will start with my least favorite King read and work our way through to my absolute favorite. Please let me know down in the comments below which King books are among your favorites. Let's start this out with my least favorite King book. Number 50, The Regulators. This was a weird story that I had trouble making sense of. I think it would have been better had it been more like its predecessor, Desperation. Number 49, Dr. Sleep. This one is the sequel to The Shining, and I personally was disappointed with it because it is not a ghost story. 48, The Dark Half. This one gives us some Castle Rock history, but I was confused with what was going on with the multiple personalities, and it was a slow read for me because of that. 47, Insomnia. Slow read, but worth it for the Dark Tower connections, and I thought that the last 50 pages were really good. 46, Black House by King and Peter Straub. I could actually say the same thing about this one as I said for Insomnia. It's worth it for the tower connections. I really liked the adult version of Jack Sawyer as well, and I think that Henry Layden was probably the best part of this one. 45, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. This is my least favorite collection of short stories by King. Drunken Fireworks and Blockade Billy were my favorites, however, in this one. 44, The Talisman by King and Straub. This was a good idea for a fantasy novel, but it was a really slow read for me. It was a tough book to get through. I did like the character Wolf here and now, and I will say that I liked it better than its sequel, Black House. 43, The Classic Christine. It's fitting that King would write a book about an evil car after doing a telepathic teenager, a lot of vampires, and a ghost story, but I really had trouble caring about the characters in this one. Number 42, Elevation. When I heard there was a new Castle Rock tale out, I was really excited. I was expecting an evil trip back to Castle Rock. I did not get it, and I was a little underwhelmed, but I will say that King expressed his message well with this one. 41, Gwendy's Button Box with King and Richard Chismar. It was a light-hearted attempt, but I felt that it was worth it for the fact that Randall Flagg makes an appearance. 40, Finders Keepers. This is the sequel to Mr. Mercedes, and I felt that Mr. Mercedes was the better novel. I had trouble getting into this one, but it is all about books, and the reader in me appreciated that fact. 39, The Wind Through the Keyhole. Like with Elevation and Castle Rock, when I heard there was a new Dark Tower novel out, my hopes were high. However, this has very little to do with the Dark Tower series, and it's my least favorite Tower novel due to that fact. 38, Firestarter. I felt that this one was lacking in originality a bit, because it really reminded me of Carrie, but I will say that within the plot, King does manage to build some tension and suspense. 37, Rose Madder. A novel filled with great themes and a great lead character, Rose, but I felt it falls apart when it comes to the supernatural element about halfway through. 36, Bag of Bones. This is a decent novel and it's well written, but I went into it just hoping for a really good ghost story at heart, and the ghosts kind of play a secondary role, so I was just a bit disappointed with Bag of Bones. Number 35, Dreamcatcher. An extraordinarily good cast of lead characters, especially Duddits, but I felt it went a bit wacky when it comes to the stuff with the extraterrestrials. 34, If It Bleeds, my least favorite collection of 4 novellas by King. I enjoyed Mr. Harrigan's Phone and The Life of Chuck. However, I did not like Rat and If It Bleeds quite as much. 33, Revival. I loved Charles Jacobs here. Very haunted and imaginative character by King. I enjoyed the journey, but the destination was a bit off. 32, From a Buick 8. Good little Dark Tower side story. I liked the drama and loved the facts about the car. I thought that that was really good, but it was a bit slow, and I know a lot of readers have felt this. I think it may have made a better short story than novel. 31, Joyland. Good atmosphere and characters, but a letdown concerning the mystery side of the story. 30, Just After Sunset, a collection of short stories, and now guys, we're really getting into the books that I enjoyed by King. My favorites in this one are N, Stationary Bike, and The Cat from Hell. 29, Wizard and Glass, a background for Roland the Gunslinger of Gilead. You know, I felt that this was a good book. A lot of effort here by King. It was a little slow for me when I read it the first time because it was my first trip to the Dark Tower and I just wanted to get there. I was in a backstory. I know that I will absolutely love this one on my upcoming reread. 28, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I did not expect to like this one because of the bad reviews, but I actually thought it was a pretty good story about a little girl who gets lost in the woods and has a very hard time. I enjoyed it more than I expected to, and I thought that it ended well. 27, The Eyes of the Dragon. This is a neat little Arthurian YA novel. And I love Arthurian tales. I think that Randall Flagg does a great job playing the evil Merlin. 26, Blaze by Richard Bachman. This is my favorite Bachman novel. It's a tribute to Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and I really enjoyed it. Number 25, The Wastelands Tower novel number 3. Oi joins the quartet in this installment. I feel that it is an imaginative read and it's a fun trip through the City of Lud. All right, we're halfway through, guys, and we're getting into my favorite Stephen King books now. If you could give this video a like, I would really appreciate it. 24, Mr. Mercedes. King proves that he can write good detection with this. I thought it was a lovely cast of characters, particularly Kermit and Holly. 23, Charlie the Choo-Choo by Beryl Evans, aka Stephen King. This one ranked so high on my list because it's a very special piece of the Dark Tower series, and I think it's actually a pretty good children's book. 22, Wolves of the Kala. Andy the Messenger Robot is my favorite part of this one, along with the homage paid to Harry Potter. 21, Carrie, King's debut novel. I didn't expect to enjoy this one so much, but I really empathized with the main character, and I thought it was a really great effort for a debut. 20, Salem's Lot. I like the fact that the vampires were very vicious and bloodthirsty in this one, which is not always what you get with popular vampire fiction. 19, Lisey's Story. I actually gave up on this one after page 100, but someone encouraged me to continue it, and I'm glad that I picked it back up because I loved the explosion of imagination that comes shortly thereafter. 18, Different Seasons. I thought that Apt Pupil was way better than the watered down movie version, and I enjoyed all 4 novellas in this collection. Number 17, Song of Susanna, Dark Tower number 6. Many readers of this series say that this is off, that it's different than what comes before, but I really liked it. I thought it was very creative, and I liked the Stephen King-like character that shows up. 16, Skeleton Crew. Really good collection of short stories. I particularly liked The Ballad of the Flexible Bullet. I was impressed by that one. I also enjoyed The Mist. 15, the epic novel It. I liked the background of Derry Main in here. It gives some understanding to the Stephen King multiverse at large, and I like the fact that the monster here was able to manifest as literary characters such as the witch in Hansel and Gretel. Number 14, The Dark Tower. Very creative novel. The final installment in my favorite story of all time. Was not initially happy about the ending, but it's grown on me over time. 13, Dolores Claiborne. A great drama with an engrossing main character. 12, Needful Things. This is the main Castle Rock collection, and although I thought the ending was off, the rest of the novel makes up for that fact, and I really liked Mr. Leland Gaunt. 11, 4 Past Midnight, a collection of 4 novellas by King, In this one, the Sundog is my favorite. It gives us some Castle Rock history. 10, The Gunslinger. I've read this novel more times than any other novel. 4 times now I've completed it. I know a lot of people don't like this one, but I think it's a fantastic start to an epic series. Number 9, Everything's Eventual, 14 Dark Tales. My favorites in this collection are The Man in the Black Suit and The Little Sisters of Illyria. Number 8, The Shining. This is a good ghost story, and Jack Torrance is one of the most beloved Stephen King characters for good reason. 7, an underrated Stephen King novel, Desperation. This is the first King novel and the first adult novel that I ever read. I think it's a good tale of good versus evil, and the gruesome antagonist tack makes it all worthwhile. 6, Misery. I love the fact that this was such a suspenseful novel that takes place in a limited setting, in a bedroom for the most part. Annie Wilkes is far more sinister a personality in the novel version than the movie, and she's a class act. 5, 11/22/63. Stephen King once again proves that he's not a genre writer with this time travel alternative history novel. I thought that it was a great idea with excellent execution. 4, Under the Dome. Big Jim Rennie is a hoot in this novel, and I felt that the drama that plays out under the dome makes for great pacing, and I think it's a great novel. Number 3, the underrated Duma Key. I loved everything going on with painting in this. It was a very artistic read. I loved Wireman. I thought that he was a cool cat, and I thought that Persai was a very unique antagonist. 2, The Drawing of the Three. This is my second favorite Stephen King book. I think it's the most imaginative King book that I've ever read, and it's my favorite piece of the Dark Tower. And finally, my favorite Stephen King book of all time, number 1, Hearts in Atlantis. This is a collection of 5 stories, and I like it the best because of the quality of the storytelling itself and the fact that I just felt comfortable while I read this. This book took me in like very few ever have. Low Men in Yellow Coats is the first novella in this collection, and I liked it because it's my favorite part of the Dark Tower tie-in. I also thought that Hearts in Atlantis was an extraordinarily good novella, and I feel that Hearts in Atlantis is the absolute best of Stephen King. It really is time for a reread for me on this one. And there you have it, friends. 50 Stephen King books ranked. I'm currently reading The Stand, which will be number 51 for me. Please let me know down in the comments which Stephen King book is your favorite, which one is your least favorite, and please put a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thanks for joining me, constant readers. I'll see you next time.